Research with severely handicapped children has helped us to understand the way all children think and learn. Children who've never played with any object can control floor turtles.
All right.
Cotting School, Boston, welcomed a team of researchers from MIT to find out what concepts these children had built up without the experiences of building, pouring, sifting. Their strategy is explained by researcher Susan Jo Russell.
Because they're not mobile, they can't move themselves, they're dependent on adults or older children to move them around, is that they can't explore space. And so understanding how things fit together in the world and what behind means and what happens when something goes behind something else is something that they haven't had a lot of experience with. Here, they've got a little world in which they can control how something moves around in space.
I think we have a key stuck here. Send it right into Andy? Or you can go
Alex
back?
and Mickey, who are the two boys who are both non-vocal and have very impaired hand use, we see several things going on with them. One is that this provides an activity around which shared communication takes place, and that's extremely important for them. The second thing that we see with them, and if you could have seen them in the session before this, you would see the change. Getting to have more control over their hand use is something that we've noticed with several of the children. And Mickey had a very hard time at the beginning operating the button box, simply getting his hand to the button that he wanted to get to, and then getting his hand off when he wanted to stop pushing that button.
The button box is a simplified keyboard. In using it, the children are preparing themselves for programming. It gives them control over their environment, which has a terrific payoff.
Now what? Where are you going?
Watching these children tackling the problem of how to knock the tower down gives us an idea of what is going on in their heads. For children like these have very little opportunity to express themselves or to share a new engaging activity. The computer environment releases trapped intelligence. It gives these children a way of not keeping everything in their heads, making their thoughts available for scrutiny and giving them a scratch pad. Sharing experience is tremendously important for developing social skills and language. Researchers have found that autistic children and children with very poor language begin to communicate their thoughts around a computer.
Mario in particular has begun to spin a lot of language around what he does on the screen, even when it doesn't look very interesting to us. He has been developing stories, picking up words that we've interjected, and it gives him a medium that he's interested in that allows him to develop more language.
His work has developed rapidly from a few scratchy designs using simple commands.
This is an example of Mario's very earliest work. He called this one, I think it was, a square, and this one a fish, and this one a circle. There wasn't much planning involved here, and we weren't really sure that he had anything in mind when he was doing them. Now, in contrast, as he moved along, he began to use other recognizably different elements in his work. This was a set of stairs that he had a great deal of difficulty making. He couldn't get the turtle to turn in the right direction. And shortly after that, he made a picture with more of a plan in mind. And this is his house. And here, this is a drawing that is very different from that early work. It shows symmetry, it shows sides of things with the same measure. He had to move from here into here to get the door in the right place, and then the doorknob, which is that little line.